Okay, before we continue, this video or these Lamentations are covered by The Secret, which is the first video I made on the Masterless Master channel. Um, yes, go see The Secret. Doo-doo-doo. Jerusalem sinned very badly. Because Jerusalem sinned, she became a ruined city. People shake their heads about. Right, so right here again, this is an echo of the first line. True prosperity is going to come from virtue, right? Cain is going to have his time in the sun. Wicked people do have their time of success. Um, but, more importantly, this is about pride. So the prince, who is actually a deer, uh, has no true victory. Um, the hateful man with the bloody knife raised has no friends. That is just metaphysics. You are either loving or hateful. No, no, no. Let's see here. In past, people respected her, but now they hate her because they abused her. Jerusalem groaned and turned away. Jerusalem's skirts were dirty. She gave no thoughts to what would become of her. That's a good line. This is good poetry here. Her fall was amazing. She had no one to comfort her. And now we're going to see this. I've read a bit ahead, and there's this a constant theme of comfort. Okay, so we'll get into that. Uh, she says, "Lord, see how I am hurt. See how my enemy thinks he is so great." Okay, so uh, she's seeking for comfort, right? She's seeking for comfort, and but there's a second aspect to the sentence, and that's that greatness thing. Again, we could go back to that, first line about the greatest cities, and we could be just talking about vanity here, right? This line, this complaint itself is very blasphemous, right? Because the enemies of uh, of God are men of privilege, right? The friends of God are the men of merit. The loving heart is the heart that God likes, regardless of what tribe they are in, right? Greatness comes from the heart. But this is a vain greatness that these enemies are exuding, right? And they're complaining about the vain countenance of their enemies because uh, the enemy stretched out his hand. He took all her nice things. Right. Again, this is very. Again, you can tell by this line that this is very mocking. And we will see why this is mocking in a bit. In fact, she saw the foreign nations go inside her temple. You said those people could not join in our assembly. All the people of Jerusalem are groaning. All her people are looking for food. They are giving away all their nice things for food to stay alive. Jerusalem says, "Look, Lord, look at me. See how people hate me? All you who pass by on the road, you don't seem to care, but look at me and see. Is there any pain like mine?" So again, we have more victimhood going on here. And I mean, people nowadays talk about victimhood, but I don't know if they fully appreciate it because they talk about the person who turns themselves into a victim, and but they don't actually talk about true victimhood. I don't think I mean, true victimhood is real, right? If you're murdered, then you're a victim, right? Somebody murdered you. You're a victim. the family members of a murdered of someone who's murdered are victims. Uh, there are those in the world who will get caught doing what is clearly wrong, and then they will start crying. Right? And this is the same type of thing here. It's exactly the same. Right? Um, no, 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 no. Because I mean, we could say that this isn't even judgment; it's just metaphysics, right? If the princes are deers, then oh my goodness, that that's gonna go badly eventually. Um, okay, so let's see. So there is true victimhood out there. I mean, if we're talking about victimizing a child, that is disgusting. Children can be victims. Um, Victimhood is real, and what happens in victimhood? Well, the victim gets comfort in the arms of a champion a lot of the times, right? And so, um, but a toxic person, right? Because we're talking about human behavior here, and this is the author of Lamentations is focused on human behavior. And so a toxic person uh, abuses the whole victimhood thing. And a lot of the times they're looking for champions, and they're looking for people to comfort them. But they're also looking for champions to protect them. Um, so this is toxic behavior that is being shown here, right? I just read The Descent of Anana, did some videos on it, and in it, Aresh Kagala was surrounded by her ministers, right? And who are her ministers? Her ministers are the ones who enable her false victimhood. No, no, no. Okay, so let's do this. Is there any pain like my pain? So this is them, that's them saying this, right? Yeah. Jerusalem says. So this is all, he's mocking them, right? He's mocking them. Again, this is who is their enemy, right? Again, we're talking about the princes here. We have to go back to the princes. It's the leaders of the Jews who are going to decide who the friends of the Jews are and who the enemies of the Jews are, right? And who are the friends of the God of Abraham? Well, it's the Assyrians who are loving, right? Those are the friends of the sons of Abraham, the loving Assyrians. It is the just Assyrians who are the friends of Abraham, the sons of Abraham. It is the good people of Assyria, but these princes who are men of privilege are becoming friends with privileged tyrannical Assyrians, right? So these are now the enemies, right? If you make friends with a bad man, then surprise, surprise. So he's mocking their vanity here, right? And he's mocking their false victimhood. Because as we will see, he is really angry with them, right? Is there any pain like the pain that has come to me? Is there any pain like the pain that the Lord has punished me with? He has punished me on the day of his great anger. The Lord sent fire from above that went down into my bones. He stretched out a net for my feet. He turned me all the way around. He made me into a wasteland. I am sick all day, right? So again, we have to go to this great nation again, right? This great, like, how did they become great? Through military stuff, right? And so, who are the people? Like, they're gonna have to rain fire down on people, right? So they're gonna have to go conquer the Assyrians, right? But who are they raining fire down upon? Right? They're laying fire down not upon the wicked of Assyria, who are probably hidden somewhere, but it's the friends of the God of Abraham that they're raining fire down upon. So to make a country great, to make a tribe great, you have to commit crimes. You have to rain fire down upon people so that they feel it in their bones, right? You have to stretch nets out before people, right? So he's mocking, I think, their hypocrisy here. There's a hypocrisy, right? It's like these are where their minds are at, with a militaristic, tribalistic, nationalistic mindset. Do. My sins were tied up like a yoke. My sins were tied up in the Lord's hands. His yoke is on my neck. He has made me weak. He has given me to those who I cannot stand up against. The Lord rejected all my powerful men. Right? These are not God's powerful men. Because who are God's powerful men? Well, those are the brave men, the loving men, the men of ability. Right? That's where true praise belongs. Right? So these powerful men were not actually the real powerful men. A man who's an intimidator walks around thinking he's a powerful man. But to the Lord, the loving man is a powerful man. Who were inside the city. Then he brought a group of people against me. He brought them to kill my young soldiers. The Lord has trampled his dearest city like grapes in a winepress. Right? And we can see God the soldier here, right? God is against bad behavior. God is against a bad heart. That's who the enemies of the God of Abraham and Moses are. And the God of this Lamentations. It is men with a bad heart. I cry about all these things. Tears are flowing down my cheeks. There is no one near to comfort me. Right? There's no more homes for them to escape into. Right? The wicked person who's starting to lose will look for champions by crying. And they will cry and look for champions. Again, this is bad behavior, right? Someone who is clearly caught in doing something wrong and who starts to cry, that is very bad behavior, because that is blaspheming innocence. There is no one who can make me feel better. My children are like a wasteland because the enemy won. Okay, now this is the author of Lamentations speaking again, right? Zion spread out her hands. There was no one to comfort her. The Lord had given orders to Jacob's enemies. He ordered them to surround the city. Jerusalem has become a dirty rag that her enemies threw away. Now Jerusalem says, I refuse to listen to the Lord, so he is right for doing these things. So listen, all you people, look at my pain. My young women and men have gone into captivity. I called out to all my lovers, but they tricked me. Right? Whose lovers are these? Right? These are the wicked Assyrians, the wicked Tyrians, the wicked Sidonians. These are men of privilege and high digits and materialism and the wrong ways. And so, surprise, surprise, right? My priests and my elders have died in the city. These are the These are the false wise men, right? These are the false wise men. And the false priests, right? As all this privilege is happening, you're going to have a lot of priests who are going around saying that they worship the God of Moses. But if privilege is going around and they're saying nothing, then they are false priests. No, no, no. They were looking for food for themselves. They wanted to keep it. They wanted to keep themselves alive, right? So this is they, the priests and the false wise men. He's saying that they are not actually men of love. This is what these lines are saying, right? These are not men of love, but they blaspheme love because they will have love on their lips and on their face, but in reality, they are blasphemers of love. Because again, food for themselves, right? This is privilege. This is a society of privilege, so they're looking for titles, they're looking for honors, for the superficial, right? We will see the superficial again, the good-looking men, right? That's a funny line. But this shows a superficiality that exists within society. God honors the wise man, whether or not that wise man is acknowledged by anyone in the world. Whether or not that wise man has a title or is honored with distinction. God honors the wise man. This is intimacy. Okay? This has nothing to do with others. This is a God of intimacy. You're either wise or you're not. You're loving or you're not. This is a very simple God. Love and hate are a switch inside the head. Sometimes that switch gets stuck. So it doesn't feel so simple. No. But this is not a God food for themselves. That's privilege. That's look at me. Look at me, Lord. I am in distress. I don't think that was a coincidence. I am upset, as if my heart turned upside down inside of me. I feel this way because I have been so stubborn. Out on the street I lost my children to the swords. Inside it is like death. Listen to me. I am groaning. I have no one to comfort me. All my enemies have heard my trouble. They are happy that you did this to me. You said there would be a time of punishment. You said you would punish my enemies. Now do what you said. Let my enemies be like I am now. Look how evil my enemies are. Then you can treat them the same way you treated me because of all my sins. Do this because I am groaning again and again. Do this because my heart is sick. Right, so these are the false tears that are happening right now. Right? When someone gets caught in a bad act and they start to cry. Because again, God's enemies are not the enemies of these false leaders of society. I mean, there is the look how evil my enemies are. There is this hatred within their words. And this is a God of love. I'm about to end it here. Oh no, I could keep going because here, this is what I want to say because it talks about how angry God is right here. Right, he was angry and he destroyed all the strength of Israel. In his anger, he destroyed the fortresses of daughter Judah. He threw the kingdom of Judah and its rulers to the ground. He destroyed with a cloud of anger, right? I mean, this is the author of Lamentations. This is his anger. He is angry at their behavior. Right? He is angry at their behavior. So we cannot trust these words. Don't read these words as if these are revealing this hatred, and he's disgusted with hatred, right? Because his God is love, and hatred disgusts him, whether or not that hatred is within a Jew or within an Assyrian or within a Tyrian. And this man loves the man of love, whether that man is a Jew or a Tyrian or a Sidonian or an Assyrian or an Egyptian. This is his anger. He is angry at these people who are speaking. Look at me, listen to me. I mean, that's love right there. You look at someone, you listen to them. And for love to be on the lips of hateful people is not good. I guess, I'm about to end it here. The final thing I would say is there's this word distress here. I was reading the book of Enoch recently, and he was saying that that's the distinction between a good person and a wicked person. Is that wicked people are distressed, because I think it's about peace of heart. So you can be in a time of trouble but still be have peace within. You can't do that if if you have fear. You can't do that. I don't know. But distress. Let your distress go away. I mean, you're still gonna suffer, but it's an attitude thing, right? Again, this is the author of the Book of Enoch. But he pointed out 4 attitudes, which were bad attitudes towards suffering, I think. And distress is one of those attitudes. It's giving in to negative chaos, right? Because you already have the suffering that's happening. There is some sort of general physical distress that's happening. So, and again, so we have to look at who this God is, and this God is angry, right? This God is angry at their behavior. He wants the brave Jew to be the top Jew. He wants the wise Jew to be the top Jew. He wants the loving Jew to be the top Jew. And he wants all Jews to be the top Jews. Right? He wants all Jews to be the top Jews. A society of freedom. Right? The God of the Torah is a God of freedom. Tyranny is toxic behavior. Anyways, we'll stop right there. Continue some other time.